Cory and I were chatting before this call, and I think it's just something that's kind of crept up on me as well is Shopify and Google Ads tracking is transitioning, that you won't be able to use the checkout liquid anymore. Just
Yes.
confirming this.
Just to clarify, so they're not saying it's going to completely break, at least per Google's own documentation or Shopify's documentation. So basically, just to put it in a nutshell, by the end of this month, basically now-ish, I think it was actually August 27th or something. Basically, the end of August, if you are a Shopify advertiser and you're doing Google advertising, apparently this does not apply to Microsoft ads yet, which I looked into, and interestingly not. But for Google advertising, if you're doing that, and you run ads to a Shopify site, if you've been using for your, so let's say your purchase conversion actions, most importantly, anything that's post checkout or like initiate checkout in that funnel, if you are tracking conversions there, which you should be, and they are using a custom pixel on your Shopify site, basically any type of conversion tracking that is not the built-in native Shopify Google Ads app, if you're not using that, it's, again, not saying it's going to break by the end of the month, but it's essentially saying it's probably not going to be as accurate as it once was. In other words, get on that. And you always want accurate conversion tracking. So unfortunately, you're going to have to make that shift if you haven't already as soon as possible. If you're running a Labor Day sale like I am, and you haven't done it yet, then wait until after Labor Day probably to do that. I wouldn't be changing my primary conversion action for smart bidding in the middle of a sale. But I will say September and October, especially for e-com, tends to be a quieter time of the year in terms of sales. So not a bad time to switch over since you're going to kind of have to do it anyway. That's a really big one. Anyway, I think it was kind of a sneaky one. We were sort of told about it a long time ago, and it's like, okay, we'll get around to that eventually. Or, hey, I don't really want to switch my primary conversion action for a purchase over right now because we're doing XYZ. So I could see it kind of being kicked down the road, but if you haven't, you really got to do that now to get accurate conversion tracking.
I'm just looking at a large e-commerce client of ours right now, and I'm not going to show it, by the way. And,
show it.
Even even in the checkout, like those the custom scripts are just like gone now, and they're on Shopify Plus. Mm-hmm. And it's just always checking these things because they want you to either use the customer events, where you can use
custom events. Yep.
Customer events.
Customer? I think it's
it says customer events.
Oh,
do you want me to show you? No. But I think these are things that are important to shift. Like notice because a lot of people have been going like running their accounts in a certain way for years, and then next minute it's gone. I'm just even just checking. Like it's all integrated across. Good to do these things live, because they like. What happened? What was it? Was it you telling me this or someone else that the reason why they've moved everything over to these customer events and using custom pixels rather than putting things on the website? Because apparently one website put something on their Shopify once and it broke all Shopify websites across the world.
Wow. Oh, I don't know.
I think they're moving towards these things that limit these customizations of whatever they could do that like just crash either the website or a server or a collective of servers as well. So in terms of the practicality of this, I'm just reading some guides right now on the two ways you can basically do this is either through the Google and YouTube app, which most people should be familiar with, or through Google Tag Manager.
That's the native app I was talking about, the Shopify, the one you just said, the Google and YouTube or whatever. Yep.
The benefits of the Google and YouTube app or the native app is like it's, literally you can just install it, low cost, automatic time. Yep. Issues are there's kind of like no support and it's only for Google Ads. And then Google Tag Manager is manual and customized, but then you've obviously got to have the technical ability to configure it. That configuration may give you more data points if you need it, but how many people really need that? And there's obviously technical complexities. If something's broken, it's going to be broken versus, at least with the Shopify app, it's kind of the Shopify checkout is the same for every company. So the data pushing through is going to be somewhat accurate. So it just depends on how crazy you are with like extra data points. But what I've seen here is it still will pull in all those main stepping stones, like checkout initiated. Where was it? Basically, those main things that everyone kind of thinks about, like checkouts.
Oh, you mean like as a default? Yeah, I'll have an add to cart, initiate
Yeah,
checkout, even
event
view
page view,
product and
view item,
stuff.
add to
Yep.
cart, begin checkout,
Yep.
add payment. Yeah, so but those things will still push through. I think that's the main
Yep.
thing, is
Mm-hmm.
that like those points come through. Obviously, the conversion tracking as well.
Yeah. Now, I do want to add a really big takeaway and practical implication from this, which is we've talked about this several times, and agencies are this is very like fundamental for them. And they try to consultants try to stress this, I think, on a lot of consulting calls as well, is when we go to the goals section, the conversions section, now rebranded to goals. When you're in there, and I don't see a backup primary conversion action, I'm very concerned about that, and I'll always bring it up. And this is a great example of why you want to have something else that's acting as a secondary conversion just in case. So historically, that's been GA4 or the old Universal Analytics. If we had a Shopify store and we're using the native app, great, cool. Obviously, in this update, we don't need to change it, but I still want to be running a GA4 purchase conversion action as a backup, as a secondary conversion action, just in case something like this happens. There's a policy change or a setting change. All I have to do now is just swap those two, move one to secondary, or get rid of it if it's not going to be useful for us in the future, or it's not going to track anything in the future, and switch the other one to primary. Now, smart bidding at least has some historical data from that secondary conversion action. It's not like you're starting a brand new conversion action from day one. That's going to be probably disastrous for your account. So I can't stress how important that is. Make sure you're setting up backup to any major conversion action, whether that's a PDF sign up if that's really important for the business, or a lead generation, or whatever it is. Make sure you're getting those backups. Very, very important. Yep.
Or you could just be a legend and have them both as primary, and then you're doubling your results.
And not tell anybody. Yeah, I'm sure that does happen.
Temporarily just put it on and off, and then like you're getting a flip one day.
Oh man, I wonder how many new agencies that get a new client and then they just add a conversion action and double the conversions, and the client doesn't know. And we're like, look, we just doubled your sales overnight. Oosh.
People really fall for that stuff. I was chatting to this business, this crazy dude, and I literally had to push him back. And then I ended up, because I still had access to his account, one of my mates ended up running. I'm like, dude, why are you working with this guy? He's crazy. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, he goes to me, yeah, he's been like double counting his conversions for ages. I'm like, this guy was already complaining that his cost per sales and cost per leads were like too expensive. I'm like, you're the one who has to tell him that it's broken, and then you're the one having to tell him like when it goes from $20 to $40 is because you're double counting. No matter what you tell people, their cost per lead is their cost per lead. Even if they're triple counting and you tell them that, in their mind, they're like, no, but it was $20. Like, bro, you triple counting. Like, no, but it was $20. It's like this like weird. Have you noticed that people are like that when you...
It can happen,
you pick out like your tracking was broke and it was literally double counting, and like, no, but our cost per lead needs to be this. And it's like, why? Because that's what it used to be. It's like, no, it didn't. No,
it was broken before. It was, that wasn't accurate. Yeah.
You know, that we've been doing that for years. I'm like, okay, well, then let's just keep double count. No, I don't want to double count. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro?
Boy, yeah, nothing you could do. There's no saving that.